From now on, I'll just be dressed in my cat ears for Halloween. Okay, so welcome to our 45 minutes check-in and roll out. So we're gonna do like a check-in meditation. We'll do some mobility. We'll roll out with one ball, a tennis ball or a bouncy ball. And I think we'll use a block. So let's sit in a comfortable meditation position. That could mean many things: seated on the floor, on a chair, laying down. I'm beginning to check in with the different sounds that you're hearing in your surroundings. We're not trying to disconnect ourselves from the moment or like escape into ourselves. We're trying to be present and grounded where we are. So can you feel yourself sitting on whatever you're sitting on? Is the weight equal between your sit bones? Are you sitting more on one side? All just observations. And sensing more into the body and feeling for the emotion that's in the body. Sometimes I'll get confused with my verbiage between emotions and feelings. And I thought today we would talk about the difference between those. Emotions are the first thing we experience. There's a primary emotion. And it normally happens really quick and we're not even really aware of it. And it has a felt sense in our body. It's this certain type of energy in motion in our body that we can feel if we learn to pay attention. And then that primary emotion triggers the mind to start thinking about that emotion. And then that becomes feelings. So the narrative in our head where we're thinking about our emotions is more like the feelings of our mind. But this like emotion, the sensation of emotion is a somatic one. Emotions, energy and motion. So you don't even need to name the emotions, like we might name angry or happy. And you instead sense for this feeling of energy. And take your hands in front of your heart, one hand and then the other hand. Lift your chest up into your hands so you have this upward lift of your inner energy. And then set an intention for your practice today based on how you're feeling. And then we're going to move into a body hold. So place one hand on your chest and one hand on your cheek. So body holds are just a position we're going to hold ourselves in. This is kind of like a nurturing way of holding ourselves. Take a big inhale, fill yourself up from the bottom all the way up to the top. Exhale, let all the air come out, pressing the breath out all the way. Feel the breath naturally return. Okay, second one, then we're going to take the hand on our cheek and move it to the forehead. Get nice and tall. Noticing the way this changes the energy in the body. And then the last one, we're going to take the hand that's on the forehead, and we're going to put it on the back of our head, so the occiput. All right, and then bring your hands back to your lap, eyes still closed, and do another check-in and notice if those body holds had a soothing effect on your system. Let's begin to take some neck circles. Drop your chin towards your chest, and then rotate your neck slowly in a circle. Come on. Do you feed them? I think I need to feed them. Next time your right ear gets to your right shoulder, keep it there. Bring your right fingertips to the floor, and then stretch the left arm up to the sky and up and over your ear. Bend your left elbow and touch your shoulder. And then we're going to do a backward shoulder circle with the elbow, kind of like how we did those neck rotations. Now we're doing a rotation in the shoulder socket. Very nice and slow. Let's take a circle in the other direction. When we stretch our side body like this, it helps us take deeper breaths. And the next time the elbow circles around, stretch it up and over your head again. The side stretch can look however you want for the sensations you're feeling. And then push with your right hand to help you come back up to center. Head aligned, hands on your knees. Tuck your chin a little bit and think about pulling length all the way up through the vertebrae. Shoulders soften and relax, face softens and relaxes. Then we're going to take the head circle in the other direction. So chin comes to the chest. You can go in the direction you would naturally go, and then go in the opposite. Next time the left ear comes to the left shoulder, stay there. So that pull with the left ear to the left shoulder and feel this natural length that happens on the right side. So I'm letting the head hang with gravity. And take your left fingertips over to the left side and begin to stretch the right arm up and over to the left. Right hip stays grounded. Then bend your right elbow, put your right hand on your shoulder, and then draw some circles with your elbow. And then take your circle in the opposite direction. Being curious to help us stay engaged with the moment and gentle. And last one, and then extend the right arm over to the left. One more stretch. And then push yourself back up through center. Nice and tall, chin a little bit tucked. All right, and tuck your toes, rotate over your knees or cross your feet, however you want to come to table. On your table, inhale, arch, exhale, round, or vice versa. And come to a neutral spine. And now we're going to do segmented cat-cows. So we're going to try to do it just one part of the spine at the time. See if you can do cat-cows just in your shoulders. You're going to keep your core strong, your low belly strong, and your neck pretty neutral. Just try to round and arch in the shoulder. Scapula is joined together, pressing away. Okay, now stabilize the shoulders, low belly, neck. Now we're going to be moving the thoracic lumbar junction, which is where the floating ribs in the spine kind of are. So the ribs will kind of stick out and then pull in, ribs down and up. Nice. Now keep the ribs in. Now we're going to do hips. Sit bones untuck, and then they pull under. Untuck. Pull under. Untuck. Pull under. Untuck. Okay, neutral spine again. Integrate the shoulders. Belly has a nice draw in, integration, and now we're just going to do the head. So chin goes up, and then chin draws down. Up, down, up, down. Now go back to it, full cat, cow. Your next exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And bicycling through the legs or taking movement to explore your down dog. Noticing what you're working with in your body. And then come into the tippy toe or the balls of both feet. Balls of both feet. See how up on those phalanges you can get. And then bend your knees and stick your butt back. It's coming into a little ball. Straighten, little ball. Straighten, little ball. Straighten. This time take your right big toe and second toe to your left heel. You can also just hook your whole foot. We're going to be trying to pull the left heel down with our right foot. The right knee will, or the left knee will try to hyperextend. Try to keep a little bend in the knee as you try to pull the heel down. Switch legs. Right foot down, left foot helps anchor the heel down. Little bend in the knee like you're bending the right knee into the front of the ski boot. Nice, both feet down, and then we're going to take little steps all the way to the front of the yoga mat. Once you get there, wide feet, bend in the knees. Hands can dangle or you can hold opposite elbows. Bend your knees a little bit deeper than you normally would. And do little untucks and tucks of the pelvis. It probably won't create much movement, but see if you can initiate that action. Sit bones go up to the sky, sit bones pull down. You now walk your hands up so they're at the top of your thighs. Push the top of the thighs back so the sit bones are pointing straight back. Send the heart forward, belly in. Might take your hands to your hips, belly draws into the spine, and then push to your feet. Come up standing. All right, take some shoulder circles. The scapula is moving on the back. Making your movement smaller until you come up standing. Okay, and then we're going to find our ball. Let's start with the right foot. Put the ball right under the ball of the foot. And then start to roll the ball down the foot, stripping the muscles of the foot. In the inner arch and the outer arch. And then we're going to take the ball right to the front of the heel. If the plantar fascia under the sole of the foot is too tight, it can cause a little bone spur right here. And I say that all the time in like fascia stuff. But I've met my first person who has a bone spur here from tight fascia. Pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to start doing cross fiber friction. So now put the heel on the floor. And then we're going to windshield wiper the foot from one side to the other. Knee moving at the same rate as the toes. And as you do this, work the heel a little bit further back. So now you're cross fibering the mid arch, going up to the wall. Nice. And then when you get to the ball of the foot, when you get that ball up there, hook your 3 toes on the ball of the foot. So they're up, but the rest of the foot is down. And now we're going to bend the knee. How deep you can bend the knee with the toes up. Straighten the knee. Bend the knee. Straighten. Bend. This time, heel lift. We're going to keep the knee bent, heel lower, heel left. Left. Okay, we're going to switch to the big toe. So first we start just bending the knee. You might notice if the knee has a certain track, it's like there's only one way the knee moves, and then you might want to experiment with just going a little medial and a little lateral to see if you can create a little bit more range. Okay, now the next time the knee bends, keep it there, heel lifts. Nice. Pound release. Okay, give it a good bi roll. And a second foot. You know, your balls are starting to be no good anymore when you do that, and they turn into like a long tube. Rolling from the top down. Mobility in the feet can affect the whole body. These little bones to move. Stripping up and down the foot. And now we're going to come to the front of the heel. Even take your other foot and help add more weight. And now shift onto your left heel and start to windshield wiper. And can you get your big toe and your pinky toe to touch? Working that inversion and eversion of the foot. As the foot gets all the way up to the top, we're going to stop when the 3 left middle toes are on the ball. And then we'll do a bend it. Exhale the knee bends, keep it there. Heel lifts. Okay, go to the big toe. Knee bends. Oh yeah, knee bends first. And keep the knee bent. Oh, keep raises. Nice. Okay. Do some lifts. Lift and hold. Think about pushing down through the ball of the foot. Okay, we're gonna do that again, but we're gonna do it with our ball. So I'm gonna take my ball and I'm gonna put it right under these little bumps are the medial malleoluses. I'm gonna put them right under there. So I'm squeezing my ball between my inner ankle, which is a nice acupressure point. Then squeezing this ball, heel raise. Keep squeezing the ball. And lower. Squeeze and press. And then as you lower, slowly lower down. And when you lower, push down through the heels. Lift up. Lower slowly, push through the heels. So this is an exercise that strengthens the calves, but that pushing through the heel also helps lengthen them. Okay, one more time, lift. And we're gonna see if we can go down towards the ground. So we're only gonna go as far as we can go. So you can do this with the heels on or the heels lifted. I'm gonna do it with them lifted. I'm gonna see if I can come down. Still squeezing the ball. And then I'm gonna point my toes. You could use a block here depending on your knee stitch. I'm gonna point my toes and then I'm still gonna squeeze the ball because oftentimes when we sit on our heels, we'll let the heels roll out. So this is gonna help stretch the top of the feet more evenly by trying to squeeze the ball as you sit. Now push down through the hands on either side of the knee and lift the knees up towards the chest. So lift the knees up. Stretching through the tops of the feet. Oh, my ball rolled away, that's okay. Yeah. Really nice. Now tuck the toes under. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Whenever I roll out the feet, I like to do a forward fold to just feel how connected the feet are to the rest of the body. Notice if it feels like you have more length or space in the back of your legs or your low back as you do this. And then we're going to transfer down to sitting again. I'm going to see if I can bend my knees. And then sit down on the back. Okay, so we're going to do our calf. We're going to take a ball right underneath your foot, so right at the base of your shin bone. And we're going to point and stretch. You could be back here. You could cross your leg to add weight. I like to lean forward and press. And then we're going to just slowly work the ball up higher and higher up the leg. Applying pressure to the ball with the calf muscle and then pointing and flexing the foot. Do some ankle circles. One bite at a time up the calf. Another bite. One more bite. As I get up higher on my calf, sometimes I'll turn to the side or something and start going front and back a little bit, depending on what I encounter. And eventually I'm going to make it so that the ball comes into my knee pit. Pull it in as much as I can. Now put your right hand on the ground behind you. Stretch your left arm up to the sky. Get long from your left hip to your left armpit. And then you can choose if you want to hug the knee in or if you want to elbow the knee away from you as you twist towards the wall behind you. Come back to sensing the emotion in your body, the quality of the energy. Once we can pay attention to this, so much stuff tends to turn off because the emotions are trying to send us information. When we receive that information, they can go away. Okay, come back to center. We're gonna let the right knee come out to the side. Your ball might drop. I'm gonna take my left foot in, so my big left toe is gonna spin into the right. And then I'm gonna push myself up into a modified side plank. Really nice, and then lower down. Nice. See if you still have the ball between your leg, if you don't replace it, and open the leg out to the side. And then take an upright twist to the left. Really nice. Come back to center. We're going to switch sides. That ball shape again. Get it underneath your left Achilles. One reason I have to come forward and hold it is my Achilles is so tight it just wants to slip off the ball. Working that ball up at your own time. We have all these different layers of connective tissue in our physical body, and they get stuck and like glued together. And these layers help communicate with our whole system, telling us how we're doing, if we need to prepare for danger, if it's okay to be calm. These layers can't communicate as well when they're all stuck together. So one of the things we're doing with the balls is getting these layers to shift and move and exfoliate and rehydrate, and then they can communicate more, hold less information because we're receiving it. looking for the interesting spot. So instead of finding a place that is interesting and moving to a place that feels less interesting, staying at those sensational spots and kind of leaning in, kind of feel what's held there without ever pushing into pain. Oh, I found a good one. I'm taking my right heel to the left side of my tibia. So tibia is like the bone running up your shin bone. Just to the left side of it, you have these peroneal muscles. Oh, and I'm like getting my peroneals with my right heel, my calf with my ball. Oh. And when you're ready, we're going to take our ball up to our left knee pit. If you're not sure if it's in there, right? Just keep moving it around until you find a place that feels right. Whew. So I sit up tall. So when there's high sensation, can you feel it without letting it overcome the feelings in your mind where it becomes like this narrative? Okay, we're gonna move into our twist. So the left hand comes behind you. It's gonna push down in a way with the floor to help you sit up taller. Right arm stretches up to the sky and then coming into your upright twist. Inhale, unwind. Trying to hold the ball with your left knee up to your knee, open out to the side. So nice and tall, twist to the right. See if you can squeeze that ball with your knee pit. Okay, then we're gonna untwist. Twist to the left towards the bent knee. Left hand comes down. Push into the right foot and the left knee to lift the hips. Really nice. Come on down. Hold on to the, oh my goodness, the time. It flies when you're only doing 45 minutes. Okay, interlace your hands behind your right thigh. So this is quad flossing. So then we're gonna try to warm up the quad muscle and try to break up these layers. So in order to engage the quad, the right leg is gonna be trying to straighten. The whole job of the right leg is trying to straighten to work the right quad muscle. The left leg is gonna be pushing the right leg down. So you're still trying to kick the right shin up as you try to push it all the way down and then move your left foot and it'll go back up. We're just gonna keep pulling it down. If you have the tendency to stick your floating ribs up a lot, so you can keep the floating ribs in, kind of like that segmented spine work. We're trying to keep the whole spine fairly neutral as we fire up the right quad. Remembering to breathe. And turn the right foot at different angles to target different fibers of the right quad. Whew. Okay, both feet on the floor, push up, bridge. Squeeze the glutes, push through the heels. Notice the different sensations that move through the body as you create this heat and effort. And then bring your pelvis back down. Interlace your hands behind the left thigh. The left foot's going to be kicking up to engage the quad. Right foot's going to be pulling down. letting the awareness be on the resistance between left foot and right ankle. Softening tension in the face or the neck. You listen closely, your knee might be singing you a lullaby. It's various sounds. Called crepitus. Your body makes noises, especially as you get older. Oh. Okay, last one. Soles looking on the floor, open the arms. So ribs stay in, pelvis down, and then palms up to the sky, stretch the arms out. This is pretty subtle. So it doesn't look like I'm doing a big movement, but I'm actually feeling a lot of sensation. And push through the heels and lift the hips. This hip's more in the pelvis. Really nice, and lower down. We're gonna roll over onto our belly. Plant your hands, cobra prep, maybe forehead on the floor, shoulder circles. Backward shoulder circles. And then one of the backward shoulder circles, keep them integrated, and then curl up, cobra. And then lower down. Okay. So we're gonna come up to our forearms. You might want a block nearby for this. So we're gonna do the quad. We're gonna start by putting the ball right above the patella. The quad is one I used to not like doing with the balls, but it's grown on me. So if you don't like it, maybe it will grow on you too. Try to push that knee, the quad, into the ball as you bend and straighten. Yeah, Melissa, nice. You can also lower down. That's a good idea. So you're not as working your arms. Next time the foot comes up to the sky, keep it there. And think about trying to engage the quad and push it into the ball. And then relax. Okay, engage it. Now we're gonna do this cross fiber. So I'm gonna windshield wiper I'm trying to roll the ball from one side to the other side. And it's gonna be clunky. Your quad muscles are pretty big and tight, so it's gonna be clunky. But it's gonna help us get kind of these layers to move off of the bone. Then we're gonna start to work that ball up higher. So every once in a while, just like with the calf, reach down, work it up a little bit higher. I try to let my foot come all the way out. So the ball is rolling on my lateral quad, almost to my IT band. And then I let my knee come out and my foot come in. So my ball's on my adductors almost. Nice half circle there. Keep working it up. Close your eyes, move into the sensing these inner sensations. If you find a place that seems really juicy, maybe hold it. Maybe hold it while you bend and straighten the knee for a pinning lengthen. Keep working that ball up the leg. Once you get the ball pretty high, roll over onto your opposite side. So I was rolling out my left quad, so I'm gonna roll over onto my right side. With my left hand, I'm gonna reach for my foot. I'm gonna take a quad stretch. Squeeze your belly, squeeze your glute. Try to push your knee towards the wall behind you. Really nice. And I'm over here. Let's grab our ball and let's put it right underneath. Let's see. Let's do the. So I'm going just medial to my scapula. So here's my scapula, right in here. You could really go anywhere. Sometimes I'll go on the ribs. So if a place feels too sensitive, you don't need to go there. I normally just do straight compression. And I watch how my mind tries to run away like a toddler you're trying to send to school. We're going to move to the other side. So coming back onto your belly, working your opposite quad, starting just above the knee. We're beginning to windshield wiper that leg. You can cross fiber across all of your quad muscles, maybe even some of your adductors. Working that ball. Up it goes. Once you get it towards the top, we'll roll over onto our opposite side. So I'm on my left side. I'll be doing a quad stretch with my right knee, the leg I just rolled out. Gotta keep the knee in line with the hip. So if it lifts up high, try to pull it down. Push out through the knee. Maybe take a little, maybe point the knee in a little bit different place. See if that changes the stretch. So then release the leg, place your ball underneath your left side, maybe just to the inside of your scapula, working some rotator cuff muscles, or going down towards side of your ribs, getting the postural muscles. Really nice. And now press yourself back up to a seat, straighten your legs out in front of you. You can do that comfortably, and then bend and straighten your legs. Pull it in. And we're going to wake up just a little bit of the limbs, taking one hand to the opposite side of your neck and stroking from the side of your hair down to your heart. Now, our lymph system, so important. And I saw a really good example of it. It's like a fish tank that never gets clean. That's like dirty lymph. Now go to the other side, compared to a fish tank that's been clean. Open the legs again. Hit the top of your front of your hips. Also a lymph spot behind the knees. Top to the ankles. And then taking a final set. Observing the breath as it slows. Noticing again that energy and motion within the body. Has that changed? Does it feel different? Draw your hands to your heart. Maybe set a new intention or the same intention for moving through the rest of your day. Bow your head to yourself. Thanks for being here. I hope your day goes well. Namaste.
Thank you, Kim.